Hi guys, it's Michelle, and today's video is going to be yet another Mandela Effect video. Y'all already know, I think the Mandela Effect is fun, flirty, funny, and fresh. Like, it's just hilarious to me, and I just think it's kind of crazy. So I like talking about it still, and you guys love sending me them. You guys tag me in them on TikTok all the time, so I know you guys like these as well. Before we get into it, I would like to thank Keen for sponsoring today's video. So Keen is a website where you can get in touch with different psychics, tarot card readers, spiritual advisors, all of the above, to just get clarity on all of life's different challenges. If you have questions about your love life, your work, there's a Keen advisor that can answer it for you. I love Keen. I've used them so many times, especially really like the fact that you can chat with the advisors instead of calling them, because I hate talking on the phone, but you can call them as well if that's your thing. And you can have a reading at any time, which I love, because sometimes I'll be having a panic moment at like 3 a.m. and I will need a little psychic reading just to see how things are going. I've like gotten a lot of past life readings and seen what I was in a past life, readings about different career questions, love, the whole 9 yards, and I love it. It's super easy to get a reading on Keen. All you have to do is create an account and you'll be able to choose from hundreds of readers who are online right now. And the readers each have unique gifts that will help you navigate your life. The best part is you could choose whichever reader best suits you. I just think that's great and like super customizable. And as a new Keen customer, you can actually get your first 5-minute reading for $1. So you might as well just try it. Renew your well-being now. A Keen advisor is online to help you. Go to trykeen.com/Michelle Platti or click the link in the description box below to connect with a Keen advisor and get your first 5-minute reading for $1. And let me know in the comments below what your reading says. I like to hear people's readings. It's just fun. We can all gab about it like we're having a sleepover. Love it. Without further ado, let's get into the Mandela Effects. All right, the first Mandela Effect that I want to talk about has kind of been blowing up on TikTok lately. It is one that we have absolutely talked about before. This TikTok creator posted some evidence that perhaps the Fruit of the Loom people are just gaslighting us.
I officially have government documentation that Fruit of the Loom is lying about never being associated with the cornucopia. That we should first start off with this Frank West album, Fruit of the Loom, which was made in the late 1970s and was a clear spin-off of Fruit of the Loom. I don't know how to credit a Redditor, but this one deserves an award because he went so far down the rabbit hole, he ended up reaching out to the son of the artist who created the art for the album cover. The son responded, making it very clear that Fruit of the Loom was in fact inspired by Fruit of the Loom, and the cornucopia was part of its logo. Redditor even brought receipts and took a screenshot of his email conversation. The part I'm most excited about, this is an official government document for the Fruit of the Loom trademark, and if you look at the bottom, it said baskets of fruit, containers of fruit, cornucopia, horn of plenty. And I'm not arguing that there's no room for discussion about when and how this logo was used, but it's clearly dishonest for Fruit of the Loom to make us believe we're crazy for assuming that the cornucopia was ever associated with their logo.
There is no proof, like actual proof of the Fruit of the Loom logo ever having a cornucopia. And that's just the tea. I don't know. It freaking freaks me out because, like, what the hell? All right, the next Mandela Effect that I want to talk about has to do with Home Alone. I love Home Alone. It's obviously the holiday season, so I was watching Home Alone the other day, and I vividly remember this scene when Kevin runs into the church. Harry says, well, I'm not going in that church. That place gives me the creeps. I remember it so well. Like, I can hear it in his voice. That place gives me the creeps about the church. And in the actual movie, he literally never says that. He just says, I'm not going in there.
Maybe we're in the church.
I'm not going in there.
Me neither.
What? Please tell me if you remember gives me the creeps. I swear. All right, the next Mandela Effect I want to talk about comes from The Notebook. I loved The Notebook as a child, and kind of an embarrassing amount, to be honest. Like, I literally would write quotes to The Notebook in middle school, in my like journal, like at school, acting like no one had seen The Notebook, and so people would think that like I wrote it. That's so embarrassing. I did that too with like Taylor Swift lyrics. Like, as a kid, I just like wrote them down, and I was like, everyone's gonna think that like I'm just this songwriter and like whatever, but literally no. I literally don't know. I was so cringe. Like, someone should have put me to sleep. But anyway, I never remember Ryan Gosling in The Notebook having brown eyes. Literally, what the hell is this? I feel like I've never noticed that, never seen that, assumed he had his natural eye color the entire time. Like, I remember thinking, oh, he's so cute with his, like, blue-green eyes, like, adorable, love it. Or brown eye contacts the entire movie, and I just, like, have never noticed that before, and I think it looks extremely weird. Like, he looks, like, dead behind the eyes, because I just feel like brown eye contacts on people look so strange. Like, I love brown eyes, and I have them, but, like, I think it's weird when I see someone wearing brown eye contacts. Like, it just looks weird. And even blue eye contacts, then they just look like Miley Cyrus me. I just feel like I would have noticed this as a child, but please let me know what you guys remember, because it's driving me kind of crazy. The next Mandela effect is something that I have been thinking about for a while, but I've never been able to find, like, proof of existing. So I think it's a Mandela effect slash, I don't know, it maybe existed for a year tops, but apparently the blue sour Skittle was never a thing. Like, I've found some evidence of it being a thing, but I've, like, tried to research back on, like, Skittle's old websites and everything, and at the end of the day, it seems like the blue sour Skittle has never existed, which is just crazy, because does anyone else, like, really, like, I felt like I remember that being my favorite flavor, and then I think I saw that maybe it existed in, like, 2002 for, like, 2 minutes, and I'm just like, what is that? So let me know what you guys remember. Like, I literally thought that to this day sour Skittles still had a blue flavor. Like, I never even realized that that had gotten taken away until recently, and it really freaked me out to know that I couldn't find evidence of it ever existing. So let me know what you guys think. Another candy Mandela effect that I want to talk about is now and laters. I always thought now and laters were spelled now and later. Like, again, 100%. Never even has crossed my mind that it would be anything else. It's now and later, like the full word of and just the packaging looks so wrong. Like, I feel like I've never in my life seen that, and I used to eat now and laters, like, I feel like kind of a lot, so it's really weird to me that I just have never noticed that. Other food Mandela effect I want to talk about is Laughing Cow. So I love Laughing Cow cheese. I still eat that shit to this day, and I always remember the cow having a nose ring, like in this, like a septum ring, 100%. However, this has literally never existed. I just feel like the cartoon looks so wrong without it, but let me know. The next Mandela effect is crazy. Like, this blew my freaking mind. If you grew up watching and loving Full House, first of all, congratulations, because you were taught many life lessons probably before your parents taught you them, or anyone for that matter. And second of all, was this one episode of Full House where they had a guest star, Tommy Page was, like, on the show, and it was, like, a really big deal. Stephanie was, like, obsessed with him and in love with him, and it was, like, her birthday, but then he ended up wanting to go on a date with DJ. It was, like, a whole thing. There's this one scene where Tommy Page signs Stephanie, like, a autograph, and then he kisses her on the cheek. 100% remember it exactly that way. However, he kissed her on the lips, and I just am like, what?
Love, Tommy. There you go.
Like, not only do I not remember that, but that is so strange and weird. Like, I just don't know why they would have made that decision creatively. But please tell me that you guys never remember that. Like, I feel like for sure that's something I would have been like, what the F about as a kid. So, I don't know. Let me know your guys' thoughts, because I am freaked out by that. Like, there's just no way. There's no way. The next Mandela effect comes from Halloween Town 1. The Halloween Town movies are some of my favorite movies ever. Like, I love them. There's this one line in Halloween Town 1 when Marnie is, like, dressing up in some of the outfits that her grandma bought before she knew she was a witch, and she goes, oh my gosh, I'm a witch, like, while she's playing dress up for Halloween. Tell me why this 13-year-old girl actually said, I'm a Wiccan.
Also, I'm a Wiccan.
What? Like, I just feel like you wouldn't know what that is at 13 years old. So highly confused by this, because I also really, like I said, love these movies, and I definitely do not remember that at all. I just feel like that's definitely something I would have thought about as a kid and been like, what the hell is a Wiccan, and had to, like, Google it. So I don't know, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that one, especially if you're a big Halloween Town girly, which You better be, because if not, what the hell are you doing? All right, the next Mandela effect I want to talk about is Mike Wazowski. So I actually wanted to test one of my friends on this theory, and I was like, draw me a pic of Mike Wazowski. She did. He also left this detail out that apparently exists now. I have never seen in my life that Mike Wazowski has horns. What the hell are those? I have, like, literally never in my life seen that. Like, never. And I love Monsters, Inc. It was, like, one of my favorite movies growing up. Is anyone else like, what the hell is that? I mean, I guess it makes sense for him to have horns because he's a monster, but it's just still, like, I do not ever remember seeing that. But let me know what you guys remember. All right, the next Mandela effect I want to talk about is about Edward Scissorhands. Edward Scissorhands is truly one of my favorite movies of all time. It's especially one of my favorite Christmas movies. And yes, it's a Christmas movie. If there's Christmas involved, like, I just kind of equate it with a Christmas movie. But nonetheless, I vividly remember the poster of Edward Scissorhands so well. I think I, at one point, considered, like, getting an Edward Scissorhands tattoo. That's how down bad I was for Edward Scissorhands. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, this is my life. Something about this poster that I do not remember, and it is the fact that there is just a yellow butterfly chilling there. I have never seen that before. I want to know your guys' thoughts on that, though, because I was really freaked out when I saw this Mandela effect. I was like, wait, what? A butterfly? And I looked it up and it was real. And I have never seen it, so I'm freaked out. Next Mandela effect I want to talk about comes from the movie Ratatouille. I swear I've talked about this, but a lot of people have been tagging me in it lately, so I'm not sure. I never remember Linguini having a beard whatsoever. However, this man has a beard. Like, it's like a little tiny thing. But what the hell is that, and why have I never seen it before? All right, the next Mandela effect I want to talk about is something that I have no clue. Like, I don't know, but there's a lot of proof behind it, so I figured I would put it in. VMAs, I guess Miley Cyrus was hosting, or she was, like, announcing a specific category. I'm not sure. And everyone remembers her mispronouncing A$AP Rocky's name and saying A$AP Rocker. It has made headlines. Like, there are literal news articles about how she said A$AP Rocker. However, if you go back and watch the original video, it says A$AP Rocky. Like, she clearly says Rocky, not Rocker.
Your swoop. The Weeknd and A$AP Rocky.
I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. Like, what do you hear? I clearly hear Rocky. I can't even, like, I just don't even hear Rocker at all. So I don't know. It's freaking me out because of how many news articles there are about her mispronouncing his name. And then she's straight up just there not mispronouncing it at all. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. The next Mandela effect messed me up so bad. Like, you touch the early 2000s music, I get really upset. I was an annoying kid where I would always Google the lyrics and want to be singing the exact right song 100% of the time. Like, this was always a thing. Akon has a song that I always thought the lyrics were, I wanna make love right na na na. Like, without shadow of a doubt, I thought those were the words. The lyrics have always been, I wanna make up right na na na. I wanna make up right na na. Bitch. No. And you can argue that it's like a radio version versus like a non-radio version, but no, this I want to make love version does not exist. Like, regardless, it's not in the explicit version, it's not in the radio version, it just isn't there. I feel like the only explanation is that it's a Mandela effect, because what the hell? All right, the next Mandela effect I want to talk about comes from SpongeBob. So apparently everyone remembers Sandy Cheeks having an oxygen tank. They remember her wearing one like in a backpack on her back, but apparently she has never had this. But it doesn't even make sense because, like, the fishbowl thing that she has on her head, like, that's not going to give her oxygen. She needs the oxygen, like, actual tank, so it makes no sense for her to not have that. It is a cartoon and she's like a talking squirrel, so I guess like what needs to make sense doesn't really matter. But please let me know if you guys remember her having like an oxygen tank on her back as much as I do, because it's freaking me out. All right, the next two Mandela effects are Christmas themed, so that's kind of fun and fresh. The first one is from the song Sleigh Ride. I've heard this song like a billion times. I can't say it's one of my favorites, but I've heard it quite a bit. Specifically, like the Ella Fitzgerald version is like very prominent in my mind. I was watching a TikTok the other day And the part of the song where it's like, giddy up, let's go. She says, giddy yap. Giddy yap, giddy yap. What is that? I have literally never heard that in my entire life, and I'm so confused because I feel like the Ella Fitzgerald one is like one of the more popular versions of this song, and I have literally never heard that in my life. What is giddy yap? Bitches be yapping. I don't know. Please let me know if you ever heard giddy yap before, because it drove me a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. If there's one thing I know, it's the Santa Claus movies. I am so obsessed with them. I love them. I quote them all the time. Like, I watch them every year, especially on Christmas Eve. I love the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus 1 is just called the Santa Claus. The Santa Claus 3 is called Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause. And then, what do you think the Santa Claus 2 is called? I always remember it being called the Santa Claus 2, the Mrs. Claus, because that is the entire premise of the movie, is that he has to get married so that he can remain Santa Claus. 100,000%. I would have bet my life savings on this. It's just called the Santa Claus 2. I watched the opening credits. I looked at the IMDb. It has always just been called the Santa Claus 2. It's driving me mad, actually, because what the hell do you mean? Like, swear it was called the Santa Claus 2, the Mrs. Claus. Please tell me what you guys remember, because, like, actually, I think that could drive my insanity if I think about it for too long, because I swear it was the Mrs. Claus. Like, it's just the whole damn premise of the movie. Why would they not title it that? Especially when they titled, like, the third one, the Escape Clause. Like, please let me know. Just let me know. All right, the last Mandela effect I want to talk about is so wild to me that I cannot believe this doesn't exist, but everyone remembers there being a photo of Kurt Cobain with oval sunglasses and a pink fluffy coat. I can see this photo in my head so damn vividly, but it never existed. There is no evidence of Kurt Cobain ever wearing a pink fluffy coat, which is crazy because there are Halloween costumes of people who are dressed in a pink fluffy coat and the oval sunglasses. Like, it's an iconic thing that people remember, that it just doesn't exist. Do not understand. Like, there's this one picture of him, like, in the oval sunglasses. Like, he definitely wore those, but he's, like, wearing, like, a leopard print shirt. I've never seen that. I 1,000% remember it being a pink, like, fluffy, furry, like, feathery coat. Vanished from the freaking universe. Why do we all remember a pink coat? Like, that's so random and so specific. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I don't know. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these Mandela effects. If you have any Mandela effects you guys want me to talk about, let me know as well. But that is it. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, and subscribe for new videos every week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.